So, back to my sketchbook. I haven't done one of these for a long time. This is fun. So this is just starting off with a nice rich browny colour made with burnt sienna and a bit of blue. And so now I'm mixing in a blue pencil on top of that as well. And I'm just building up the surface just with marks and paint and colour, just to create an interesting surface, and something will emerge as I build this up. So keeping with the blue and the brown, always a good combination, a cool and a warm, a light and a dark. I'm adding in this sort of light blue colour, and now coming in with a light warm colour as well. And just look how these beautiful layers, just these films of colour, just create these beautiful layers. Really lovely. So I'm wanting to cover up all the white paper so that there's no sort of white paper showing there, just filling up the little gaps with paint. And then coming in over the top with a bit more of the brown and then a bit more of the blue, just building up layer upon layer. Okay, when that's all dry, now I want to create something that's a bit different. So I want some nice edges, some sharp edges. So with my flat brush, loaded it up with the dark brown, I've just created a big shape. And I'm going to do a similar sort of thing on the right hand side, but I'm going to make sure it's a bit different this time. A bit more random, a bit looser, and a bit more transparent. So there are parts of this shape that are quite thick paint, and then I've taken some of the paint away, and then over the top coming in with a light shape with this nice creamy colour there, and creating a big shape there, and then using the colour shaper to sort of bring a film of that creamy colour through as well. Okay, we've got a shape. What's different to a shape? A line. So let's add a line in, sticking with the blue, keeping the colours fairly contained within this range, and spreading this line around the page. And now I'm going to add some collage. That paint is pretty much all dry, and I've selected some different types of paper with different patterns and marks and things on them, little images of butterflies, and I'm going to just sort of kind of randomly put these through on this page. So I'm butting up one type of collage with another type of collage to create these sort of collage areas. And these are just going to provide interesting details once I cover them with paint. So now bringing in a nice warm yellowy colour and bringing that into the mix as well. So just alternating between wet and dry media. Having used the paint, I'm now using a black pencil and just doing some sort of creating a shape that suggests some sort of folded shape that sort of has a directional shading on it, sort of steps or something, whatever that is. And now some naive sort of letter forms, just creating more linear elements in the composition. And now I'm bringing in this blue and creating a shape in here. So next to all this sort of random scribbling and dry media, I'm putting in quite a defined shape in there. So keeping an eye on the composition, on the design, I'm looking for lights and darks, and I'm using this very light sort of off-white paint to establish my light areas on that page. Deepening up the yellow, bringing in a little bit more saturation, and once again defining a shape, defining an area with this yellow. Looking for lights and darks and establishing a design. So I've got kind of quite big shapes on the right hand side of this composition, so I want to have some big shapes on the left, so this is what I'm doing now. And just exploring what I can create here with different little bits of light paint. Trying things out. If I don't like it, I just paint over it. And the same goes for this area over here. So I'm wanting to sort of somehow extend this shape over to the right. And so I try out a few things. I'm not so keen on that, so I'll scrape it off. Try something else. Bringing in some more colour on this side. Defining shapes. And now bringing in some quite strong linear elements on the left hand side here. That's quite different from what we've got on the right hand side, but kind of a little bit similar to those step type shaded area that I have on the right hand side there too. So it kind of relates, but it's different. And then to take the eye up there, a little bit of darkness, and then just trying to figure out what's going to go on here. So I try a few wiggly lines. Not overly keen on it, so I block that out again. Give it another go. And then darken up the right hand side to sort of balance the depth that I've got on the left. Add in a bit more yellow. And there we are. That was quite fun. Combining collage with paint.